Good morning guys, welcome back to the another video session in biotechnology principles and processes. In this video we are going to learn about PCR. PCR full form is polymerase chain reaction. This process had an important principle that you already learned in molecular basis of inheritance, that is DNA replication. Just recall your knowledge once, that is in DNA replication what happened? One double stranded DNA molecule provided two double stranded DNA molecule. Agreed? But the newly formed two DNA molecules, each one have 50% of the parental. That is why it was called semi-conservative DNA replication. However, the PCR is depend upon a principle called replication. Let us discuss the thing today. Polymerase chain reaction process was developed by scientist Carey B. Mullis, the year of 1983. Simply called Mullis developed the process that is polymerase chain reaction, in short form that is called PCR, in the year 1983. For this he got Nobel Prize in 1993. So in 1993 he got Nobel Prize. Now this PCR also known as, means it's a nickname we can call a pupil choice reaction. Means in the biotechnology it was a great evolution, we can say. After this, so many of the departments like medicine, agriculture, biotechnology, research, forensic sciences, every lot of implementation has been observed. In this method, what exactly happening? Amplifying of a specific piece of DNA molecule. This is what we can say definition. PCR is a biotechnology process in which DNA molecule piece will be amplified. So you might have an idea about the forensic department, right? So whenever a murder or a rape or any theft or any illegal activities or allegations are happened, police need to clear that case, right? For that they need so many proofs, even in the DNA fingerprinting also. If they got a proof of a particular victim or a suspected one, that a DNA fragment, but that DNA molecule fragment has been used in that case. For further references, if they need the same kind of DNA in more number, so PCR is the best technique to be used to amplify the specific DNA molecule into wanted number. At the same time, if we got one organism details, that maybe, suppose today we had a lot of details about the dinosaurs, but no human seen dinosaur directly with the naked eye. How we got the information dinosaurs are these types and dinosaurs are arrived into the world in particular era of the geological time scale? No. So the details are simply we gather by known DNA fragment and implemented, and also we can store that information. Let us see as a part of a PCR application in how many departments it has been playing a vital role. Then polymerase chain reaction is one of the most essential breakthrough. I already told you, before PCR biotechnology world is different. After PCR in the biotechnology sophistication has been arrived in so many departments. So it is a big breakthrough in the history of entire biotechnology. So be curious to know how this process has been conducted. Here, polymerase chain reaction process have three important steps. Steps involved in polymerase chain reactions. How many steps are involved in polymerase chain reaction? Means three steps. In that, first one is denaturation. Second one is annealing. It is also called hybridization. And the third and last step is extension. Extension of DNA. These are the three important steps involved in the polymerase chain reaction. Let us see one by one in detail. Step 1 is denaturation. in this step, what is going to be denatured? That is double standard DNA molecule undergoes denaturation. You see, this is a double standard DNA molecule, 3' to 5', opposite is 3' to 5'. Suppose here A, T, G, C, G, C, A, T sequences are taken for an example. Opposite A, T, C, sorry, G, C and G, C, A, T are the complementary sequences in a double standard DNA, as their bonds are hydrogen bonds, but between A and T 2 and G and C 3 were there. So this is complementary. When this double standard DNA, this is double standard DNA placed under the 90 to 94 degrees Celsius temperature, average is 92 degrees temperature. Generally the hydrogen bonds were broken. When hydrogen bonds were broken, double standard DNA molecule becomes two separate single standard molecule. So this would be single standard DNA and this is single standard DNA. So here the same sequences are there: A, T, G, C, again G, C, A, T sequences are there, but there were no hydrogen bonds because both are separated by denaturing the hydrogen bonds. There were no hydrogen bonds. So hydrogen bonds broken by the temperature. Here no enzyme has been used. If you think because of some enzyme these hydrogen bonds were broken, that's why double standard DNA into two single standard DNA, that is a wrong perception. Hydrogen bonds were removed or nothing but broken or dissolved. Why? Because of the temperature. If you ask me, sir, it is a high temperature, nearly 100 or average 92 degrees temperature, hydrogen bonds are only broken, then what about the phosphodiester bonds present between the adjacent nucleotides? So here, if we place the double standard DNA more time, then all the types of bonds present in the DNA, such as glycosidic bonds or phosphodiester bonds or ester bonds and hydrogen bonds, all will be broken up. But here the technique is, we have to place the double standard DNA for some time, very less time, so that under the 92 degrees average temperature, hydrogen bonds are only broken or denatured. Result, double standard DNA molecule into two single standard. Here the important thing is no enzyme used and it depends on the temperature. So only temperature dependent step, no other any chemical involved. So after this what happens? Let us see the second step called annealing. Step 2, hybridization. Also called annealing. So here let us follow the two separated single standard DNA molecules. 3' to 5', ATGC, GCAT are the sequences we have taken, and this one is also opposite direction, 3' to 5', ATGC. They are not palindromic sequences, normal sequences. Hydrogen bonds were broken. That is what happened in the first step called denaturation. In the second step, this is what a single standard DNA molecule, like that single standard DNA molecule. Here the question is, once denaturation taken place in the polymerase chain reaction, of one DNA molecule. How many single stranded DNA molecules can have? Only 2. So one PCR required one DNA molecule. Now in this step, primers are using. This is called primer. How many primers are used for one single strand? Means 1. So in one DNA polymerase chain reaction, 2 primers are used. Why? Because here 2 single stranded DNA molecules were there. So this is also another primer. Primers are involving in which step? Hybridization step or annealing step. As primers are adding, so this is called annealing. What is a primer? You know very well. Primer is a short nucleotide sequence of RNA. Already seen in the replication part. That's why in the earlier of this session I told you replication is the principle for this process. And when primers are, for the adding of a primer, we require 50 to 55 degrees Celsius temperature. So here also temperature is damn required. RNA nucleotides are required, temperature required, as well as the enzyme also required, that is called primase. So enzymes also required. But various in the previous step only temperature dependent. Here it is dependent on primer as well as the enzyme and also temperature. But temperature here is 50 to 55, there more than 90, average 92 degrees. What is a primer? Primer is a short nucleotide RNA sequence. Why should primer has to add here only? So if you observe at 3' of the both strands, primer has been added. Why? A primer who has a 5' and 3', and the 5' should be opposite to 3' of the DNA. The 3' what will be present? At 3' OH is present. Like that, if this is the 5' and this is the 3'. At 3' what will be present? Phi functional group OH is present. So that is the reason primers are always added at 3' of the DNA strand or template strand, we used to call, and this is what towards the 3' of its direction. Understand? So 3' to 5' of opposite direction, 5' to 3' of primer direction. The primers are adding at 3' end of the DNA molecule. This process is called annealing. In before step, double stranded DNA molecule becomes 2 single stranded. In this step, 2 single stranded molecules are gained 2 primers. So number of primers are used for one PCR means 2. Why? Because in one PCR, one DNA involved, that is a double stranded. If one DNA involved, the result in by the denaturation is 2 single strands. Single strand have a 3' and the primer going to be attached. So total number of 3' ends by one double stranded DNA given is 2. That is the reason 2 primers are involved in one PCR. Let us see what happened later. That steps in extension process. Extension is also called polymerization. New DNA nucleotide sequences are adding one after one and forming a complementary sequence. Let us see. The result of second step is 2 single strands with the primers, right? If we take a one single stranded DNA, let us see. Here the primer was there. This is what called a primer. Primer have 3' and free, 5' and is outside, and 3' is towards inside. As I discussed just before, 3' has free OH molecule. Suppose here A was there, then here T will come and bind. This is a nucleotide. If here T and GC AT sequences are present, then opposite T opposite A and G opposite C and C opposite G as well as G opposite C, complementary to the C, that is a G, complementary to the A, that is a T, and finally complementary to the T, A nucleotide sequences one after one will come and bind according to the template DNA nucleotide sequences. So when T comes, between these 2 hydrogen bonds were formed, that are 2, and G and C again 3 or C and G again 3. So once their complementary sequences are formed, then immediately hydrogen bonds are generally formed without any kind of enzyme. But here the thing is, one single stranded DNA result one double stranded DNA. Clear? Enzyme that is adding all these new nucleotide sequences of DNA is called DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase. Here the most interesting thing is, so this is a very simple process everywhere and we can do, but the step extension required 72 degrees of temperature. Don't think that this PCR will be done in our cells. Impossible. Our body temperature itself 35 to 40 degrees. Average 38 degrees or 37.5 degrees. So the process extension in the polymerase chain reaction required 72 degrees. It is impossible to occur in animals. So that it should be happen in a prefixed laboratory. Fine. That is a genetical laboratory. 72 degrees means it is almost high temperature for the action of any enzyme. So that we are extracting this DNA polymerase by a bacteria. This is the key point of entire this concept. What is that bacteria? Thermus aquaticus. Thermus is the genus, Aquaticus is the species. Why this bacteria only we have to choose to extract DNA polymerase and used in PCR? Reason is, Thermus aquaticus is a bacteria which is generally archaebacteria. Archaebacteria, old bacteria, ancient bacteria. In that it is belongs to Thermophilus. Thermophilus means what? Bacteria though live in high temperature conditions like thermal vents or hot springs. This bacteria generally lives nearly 100 degrees Celsius temperature of thermal vents. Thermal vents means hot springs. So generally it is living in that high temperature means its metabolical activities are also adopted. Means all enzymes also able to work in high temperature. That is the reason as we need 72 degrees of temperature for extension process in the PCR. If we take DNA polymerase from any other organism, it will not work. Why? At 72 degrees, normal DNA polymerase enzyme cannot work. That is the reason we are extracting or we are gathering the enzyme from Thermus aquaticus. That's why that special DNA polymerase is known as Taq polymerase. Why the name has been given like this? T, capital letter, that indicating the first alphabet of the genus, as well as the second two alphabets are indicating first two alphabets of species. So Taq means Thermus aquaticus. Polymerase enzyme is obtaining from the or collected from the source Thermus aquaticus. That is the reason the special enzyme used in the last step of PCR is Taq polymerase. What is Taq polymerase? Taq polymerase is a DNA polymerase that was isolated from Thermus aquaticus bacteria because that bacteria has the ability to survive nearly 100 degrees temperature. As this bacterial enzyme adopted their actions nearly 100 degrees temperature. So to work at 72 degrees is not a matter to a particular enzyme. That is the reason we are using. Here students use it to confuse. At a point, that is, what is the temperature required for the process of extension? Means don't think that is 100 degrees. Answer is 72 degrees. But the question comes, enzyme required for extension process of PCR can be worked at 100 degrees. Means it has the ability to work at the temperature 100 degrees, but the needed temperature for the process of extension or final step of the polymerase chain reaction is 72. In case of experiment, the enzyme job has been done at 72, but it has a ability generally work at 100 degrees. So according to the question you answer, don't confuse. So this is what the third step. Here what has been used? DNA sequences are used. Taq polymerase enzyme also used, and finally temperature, that is 72 degrees temperature is also used. These are the ingredients we have to observe that in the step 3. Like that in every step some ingredients also there. I hope you understand all the 3 steps. If you have a confusion, let me clarify all the 3 steps with some comparisons in a tabular format. Then you will never have confusions. Let us see that. Compare all the 3 steps by the given features in the table. So it is a kind of a recap of the concept for your better understanding. What type of DNA is involved in the step 1 called denaturation? That is double stranded DNA is involved. Clear? Whereas in the denaturation, which enzyme is involved? Nil. There is no enzyme is involved in the step denaturation. And the temperature required for the denaturation is 92 degrees. Generally 90 to 94 degrees they use it to write. Average we have taken, that is 92 degrees. If you want the range, 90 to 94 degrees Celsius has been used. What are the ingredients are used in the denaturation process? Simply that is ingredient is double stranded DNA only. Nothing they use, and the temperature is not an ingredient, simply that is a factor. Now step 2, annealing. In annealing, what type of DNA is involved? Simple, 2 single stranded DNAs are involved. 2 single stranded DNAs are involved. And in the annealing, what type of enzyme is used? Primase. Enzyme primase is used. Temperature required for the annealing is 55 degrees Celsius, whereas the range is 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. What are the ingredients involved in the annealing process? RNA nucleotide. RNA nucleotides means primer as well as primase enzyme and single stranded DNA molecules or sequences are ingredients for this. Next, last one, step 3 in the extension. The DNA involved is single stranded but with primer. Single stranded DNA plus RNA primer. Primer is generally RNA are used. And the enzyme involved here is Taq polymerase. Taq polymerase means what? A special polymerase which is extracted from Thermophilus bacteria, that is Thermus aquaticus. You know the reason why it is involved here. The temperature involved here is 72 degrees Celsius. Average is 70 to 75 degrees. That is the range and this is the average. What are the ingredients used in the extension? One is single stranded DNA with primer as used, and second one is DNA nucleotide sequences and Taq polymerase enzyme. Taq polymerase is generally DNA polymerase enzyme. Apart from Taq polymerase enzyme, other enzymes are also there to be used in a process of PCR. So these are the comparisons. You can see the different factors, how they are combining all the 3 steps, so that if you go through this table you can easily answer assignment as well as future questions on this concept. Now in the conclusion I will tell you what are other polymerases other than Taq will be used in the PCR technique and its application. Let us see some applications of the polymerase chain reaction. Very firstly, PCR helps to amplify the DNA molecule. What is amplification? Simple. Double stranded DNA undergoes all the 3 steps. 1, 2, 3 means denaturation, annealing and extension. All the 3 steps result 2 double-stranded DNA molecule. Right? Like that, if it repeats 30 cycles, that results 1 billion copies of DNA. Whatever the DNA you have taken, one molecule will give result 1 billion copies. That is what? That is what? The magnification of number. Increasing in the number enormously by just 30 cycles. If you ask me how much time is required, very short span, we can develop all this. So 45 minutes to hardly 1 hour time will be taken for nearly 40 to 45 cycles. That results more than 1 billion number of DNA molecules. So that is the first application. And the second one is modification of ends for cloning. So during cloning process, that is nothing but a biotechnology process. If you want to modify, okay, the ends of the taken or desired DNA, by using PCR we can change it. Third one, introducing the site of a specific mutations. So artificially we can change the sequences of desired DNA during genetic engineering method. Joining the ends without ligation. Generally in the cloning method, by using the enzyme called ligase, we are joining a fragment of DNA to the vector or any other linear DNA molecule. But by using PCR, we can continuously polymerize the wanted sequences so that ligase enzyme is not required if you prefer the PCR. Next one is in vitro splicing. In vitro means what? In lab or outside the living body is called in vitro. Splicing means what? Fragmentation. By using just temperature, we can divide or separate the double-stranded DNA into 2 single-stranded DNA. Whereas inside our body, DNA is dividing or replication fork. At replication fork, DNA is dividing by topoisomerase, helicase, so many enzymes. Without enzymes, we can splice. Means what? We can cut or separate the DNA in lab. That is why it is called in vitro splicing. Next, diagnostics. Diagnostic means what? If you have any symptom, you used to meet the doctor to know or cure the disease. So doctor will give some tests. We have to go for the lab. In laboratory, they will take blood cells or sputum. So many things are X-ray. All these are called diagnostic methods. Diagnosis is a process in which the exact disease and its characters can be identified. So if it is any viral or bacterial infections in our body, by using this PCR is the best diagnostic methods to confirm the bacteria or virus according to its genome. Also we can find out count of the virus. How much virus is present in our body also can be easily known by the PCR, called viral load technique. Whether virus is present or not, that would be called as antigen presenting test. Okay. But once virus is confirmed in our body, what is the stage that person is in by the affecting particular virus also can be easily observed by the PCR. That is what? Diagnostics. Next, detecting of the sex in parental cells. Suppose in some forensic cases, okay, 2 mothers were fighting about a child, okay, those are belongs to a particular one. In that case, we have to identify the mother cells, parental cells, and also we can take the cell of the suspecting baby, and if we find out through the PCR, we can confirm. So that is why I said PCR also helps in forensic sciences. Next one is fingerprinting or forensic medicine. It is also related to like that. And phylogenesis. What is phylogenesis? Suppose if you find a insect or a plant, you are thinking that is a new. By using the PCR, we have to develop its DNA and also can compare with its related or near species or genus. Then we can confirm this organism, particularly plant or animal, belonging, have a lot of characters so that it is belonging to this genus, this order, this family, this species or this subspecies. Like that, phylogenetic order also can be confirmed by the help of this wonderful technique called PCR. That's why it is called pupil's choice reaction. Okay guys, this is how we learn today PCR and its applications and importance. In the next video, we will see the conclusion of biotechnology principles and processes. Go through the textbook lines and attempt assignment. Thank you.